Welcome back to Hutan Pantai episode 23. On the previous episode, we bought this land here. We purchased it. What was the number? Not that anybody cares. 26. Things are starting to look up. I did go ahead and do some off camera. I decided to go with this brick. I think it looks a little bit better. I left some of that cobblestone here to make it look like it's like cracked on the ends a little bit. Make it a little more interesting. Also put some tracks that we talked about on the previous episode as well. Make it look a little more realistic. Give it some personality. Did some landscaping. Kind of getting ready for the sheep pen over here when we get that all put in. But we're a little bit broke at the moment. I was thinking about this area up here. We were talking about, well, what could we use this for? I think what we'll do is we'll purchase our silage bales and we'll just stack them over here. It's a perfect spot to do it. And yeah, we can transport them over. Could also park our animal transport trailer here or something. So yeah, I'm liking this. Let's get a little different view here. It is April. I did go ahead and advance as well too. Goes all the way up here. Make use of that meadow grass. Problem is, I think there's still a bug as I'm filming this. It might be fixed because they were talking about a patch coming out soon. Where the meadow grass doesn't really like make any yield. I'll keep an eye on it. It still says 0 right now. But yeah, I think I would like to put that sheep barn here somewhere, and then we'll just kind of like go up and then run it all the way back over here, I think. Kind of make it unique. I was gonna try to like put some mountains here. Maybe I still could. But I think if you put meadow grass down after we put the building, then I would just paint it in, or can we repaint? Let me see if we can repaint over here. We might actually be able to repaint after. Now that I'm thinking about it. Area restricted. Yeah, we can. So what we could do, yeah, so like to make it a little more organic, we could put like some dirt paths or something here to make it look more interesting. I'll probably add to this later on. Especially up here by the barn, you know. Like where the cows would gather. It only makes sense. I like it looking more realistic. I could do some more of this off camera. So if that's the case, I'm going to fix this actually. Because what I wanted to do here. I'll make some peaks here. Have a nice little like rocky area for the... Well, we're going to do goats. And they like to climb things. So I think it'd be kind of cool and interesting if they were able to have a little area over here to perch up on. You know how they like to climb rocky mountains and stuff? I think this would be perfect. A little, like I said, icing on the cake for this playthrough. Just doing little things like this. Makes it more interesting too, having stuff out of the ordinary instead of just flat stuff. And then we can just decide to paint some interesting ground textures after. But it'll be a while before we could do this. I don't know if we'll get to it in this episode, depending on how far we get. We're almost gonna need another harvest. That ain't too bad. Yeah, because after we put the fence down, we can't change anything. So that's gonna kind of suck about that. So I'm gonna have to make sure it's the way I want it before we put the fence down. Our production, we still have our rice rolls producing and selling, so we're just gonna keep trickling money in. There's a little bit of rice left to produce. We might be able to turn that kimchi on after all and run a little bit of that, but I'm gonna make sure we get our rice out because it's worth a lot more. We got one more month and we gotta fill up the greenhouses with water. Oh yeah, I also put the rock here on the side. This looks, like I said, give it personality. Makes it quite interesting. Again, we can't bring the road out to the other road. I wish we could. I could if I get that one mod that lets you terraform anywhere, but we'll see what Giants has in store. I would hate to like paint over something you shouldn't and cause problems. But without further ado, it is time to plant. It's planting season. I believe we can do both this month. Yep, we could do regular rice, and we have to do our long grain rice, so we'll get... I guess we'll just get everything going here. Get him set on workers. We got everything plowed on the previous episode as well. So everything's ready to go. Yeah, I was reading in the, well, they never released a patch, but they're talking about performance improvements, which I think would help tremendously. Because I actually had to turn the graphics down just a little bit. Well, more than a little bit. But yeah, things tweaked so it does look nice close up. But if you were to look, you know, way in the distance, you can tell the trees are not as good as they could be. For such a, you know, it's mainly just the Giants engine that's not really optimized very well. It's kind of a joke. Which is why a lot of people wanted to get a different engine, but Giants is pretty stubborn. They want to keep their engine because they're used to it. But they need to make it optimized, that's for sure. As everybody knows here too, this corner up here is terrible for frame rate. Actually, I lost my FPS in the corner. I don't know. Sometimes it bugs out and disappears, so I can't tell what I'm at. But typically, you look at, I can see it right now. You look in this direction towards the city. I think it's the city that's probably causing that. Big FPS drop. So I'm hoping that that gets fixed as well. Planting season is done. I got everything all washed up. I went ahead and put the tractor on the water tank because we're going to have to top that up next month here after we take a nap. I think we definitely have our process streamlined here. Let's shut this. We're done for the year here. I suppose we could do this side too. We could probably do it all. It's kind of more inviting, I think, with the doors open, but how close do we got to get here? There we go. I really like the look of that. I'm glad they, with this farming simulator, they decided to add more buildings and barns that look more like not so perfect. Like this, you can like the, you know, you look at the wood here. It's, you know, it's not your most high quality building like this cow pen over there. That's what I don't really like. That's why I wanted to use a different one, but it is what it is. The other thing I hope they do improve on is we did have some hail before we planted, but it shouldn't affect the planting. That's what I don't like. It basically paints over, like, I think, like kind of with a brush, like a different state, but it shouldn't affect the planting. I don't like that. You shouldn't have to subsoil again before you plant. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we have a spot mist here. Where else? There's more than that. We'll see it better after we get a growth stage, but there was a couple. I think we had some over here on the, oh, we ain't gonna be able to see this actually until that pops up. But all in all, we are looking good, in good shape here. That is nice. It would be nice to maybe have that for the farm, but we're just going to hold off. We could probably buy a new one as a good gift anyway. I'm just curious, when we do plant sugarcane in the future, what month that is going to be. That'll be March and April as well. It's going to be a busy spring when we get all in full force. Yeah, so I think we're ready to go ahead and advance, and then we'll see where we're at. And like I said, we got to top up our greenhouses. So we got another $4,000 overnight. Yeah, we definitely need some water in our small greenhouse. I'm keeping an eye on our processors here, so if we can start the kimchi at some point, that would be great. Our medium greenhouse too has sucked a lot of water. What do the sales look like? Like I said, not that we can do much. This could be, you know, interesting. But I think what I want to do is just keep it very straightforward on this series. And we'll buy the silage bales and just stack them over there and then feed them that. Never really ever did that in a playthrough before, where you just pay for the silage bales and then just feed them. It's kind of an interesting way to do it, so you're not actually having to do the silage yourself and wrap it, because it can be quite tedious, you know. So it'll be interesting to take that route. I suppose we'll have to get a trailer when we do that. We'll check and see where our hail damage is on our fields after we planted now. I thought there was one in the long grain area, but yeah, right here. Like I said, it's, wish it wouldn't. Maybe they'll fix that in the update, but I don't know how they really could. These look pretty good up here. We also have to, yeah, get these watering as well. I can't forget that. Yeah, over here. Alright, so I'm going to tackle this watering, and then, I guess we'll probably see you in a few minutes. I don't know if we're going to need this tractor, or have to water again before we harvest. There's a good possibility we'll have to, so that's why I just left it there. Should be the last field we gotta water. looks good. Or no, turn rolling off. There we go. Watered. Yeah, it looks good. So I want to check on that meadow grass before we advance. Okay, it does say that there's meadow grass. Good. So maybe we really won't have to spend so much money on silage if they can eat the meadow grass in the summer months, you know? That would be alright. I do like how they added the custom pens on this new farm sim. We definitely needed, the time was coming for a change in the animal husbandry, if you will. We're going to keep our eyes open for if one comes up, a animal hauling wagon, which will most likely be this guy here. It isn't crazy. I'm hoping it can fit more. It says only 6 cows. But if we were going to do small, like, you should be able to put more in there, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay, let's, I think we're going to advance to our harvest unless something comes up in the sales. I'll keep an eye on the preserved food production, and if that rice goes to 0, we'll start up the kimchi and get that going. Otherwise, we will get all the way to August. So we have an interesting development here. We're going to need a milk tanker trailer. I don't know if there's any in the mod hub. I guess I didn't look. We'll just go with what we have because it's good to use some base game things until we get everything we need. Yeah, we'll have to fill up over here when the time comes. So I got this nice, oh, we got grass in here. Our nice little milk tank. I do plan on putting a bottling factory down here somewhere. Unless we find a better spot. I suppose we, well, yeah, we'd probably want it there so we can do both. Because we do want to make we'll bottle both of those. The goat milk and the water buffalo. But we need a tank for that. And there's only like 1 in the game. Well, there's 2. But we can't use our water tank. That would be nice if we could, but we can't. We'd have to get this guy. So the good news is that's regular 25. The good news is there's one in the sales here. So I think what we're going to do is buy this. We could just leave it over there until we're ready for it. But we could also use that for water if we need to. And then we could sell the other one. We'll see. Maybe it'd just be good to keep both. But it's cheap. On sale. Ooh, we can do different colors. That is interesting because you really couldn't do that before in 22. On the base game one. So if we're going to do milk, would it be cool to do white or should it be stainless like it's supposed to be? Chrome or silver? For sanitary purposes, I really do feel like it should be. Let's do silver. That feels a little more stainless milky to me. And then the rim color. I'm almost feeling like a beige to make it kind of like old school. Yeah, let's do that. Probably doesn't look the best, but I kind of want to keep it kind of low key, if you will. All right, 13,000. We'll just leave that over there until we need it. If we do decide to sell our water tank later on, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll keep both. All right, we have made it to August. I got to do, actually, I think this is, yeah, we don't flood it the last time on the long grain. That'll be ready next month, but we are ready to pick our short grain rice. So we'll get these harvesters started. That's crazy that we can do things that got so efficient. We can plant the rice and harvest it in the same episode. It's pretty crazy. These do drive quite slow though. There was nothing in the sales today. I did go ahead and turn on the kimchi. There's still a little bit of rice left to process. But like I said, I really want to get that kimchi ran out because it's kind of wasted money that's sitting there. We're not going to be doing any more for the series. We'll just run our long grain and our short grain rice. And it's already starting to use some of those vegetables up. I got it set on selling. And like I said, there's just a little bit of rice left. We'll run both of those. I could maybe shut the rice off. Maybe we'll do that. That way that kimchi can finish out. Let's do that. We're almost done with the rice and we're going to be topping it up actually in this, before we close out this episode. So let's just shut that off so it can focus on that kimchi. Run that out. And then we can just focus on the rice. I think we'll save the... Ooh, I gotta open the door. I think I'll save the long grain rice for the next episode. And then we'll also probably get our goat pasture put in. And then we can buy our cattle, I think, on the next episode as well. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be a little... something different. We've had a few months where things have kind of been the same. But it's definitely bringing in the money. Just all fit. Good thing. I was debating whether or not to just drive those right to the production, but these harvesters drive so slow, I'd rather just put them in the wagon. I think it worked out pretty well. We'll see what our grand total is here. And then I think we'll close out. Been a very successful episode. I can't wait to get going on the animal production over there and get all that straightened out. It's a very good start over there. Looking at that though, looks pretty amazing. Alright, we ended up with 14,617. So I'm just gonna leave it off for another month or two yet. We'll see how quickly we can get this kimchi, draining out those vegetables. But we can't wait too long because I want to make sure our rice gets going, because that does take a while to process, and we're going to have long grain rice here soon enough. We'll tackle this on the next episode. But I think I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to get all these cleaned up. I'll get them put away. And like I said, I think the next episode, we're going to get the animal productions going here. So it's very exciting. I'll have to buy that wagons. We already got the milk tanker, so yeah, probably get another tractor would be great as well, but that's in due time. I guess we'll get another, what, at least 160,000 again this year in our sales. So it should be plenty of money to get things going. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.